Good morning, great Gopher fans, best fans in college basketball. I hope that all is well in your world. Welcome to the second episode of Golden Dunkers Live. I'm your host, Eric Harris Jr. Thank you for all the love and support that Gopher fans, family, and friends have shown us on our first episode. Quick correction, really quick. I mentioned my partner last episode. His name is Keith Cook, not Keith Koch, Keith Cook. So thank you, Keith. He's very instrumental in what we're doing here. So we're having a few technical difficulties with our next guest. So please bear with us. We're going to try to get Mr. Mbakwe on. There's some issues with time zones. He's over in Japan right now. So please bear with us. But in regards to our first episode, once again, thank you. We had a great guest, Mr. Akeem Springs on, great individual, and we wish nothing but love and greatness for Akeem on his journey. Thank you, Akeem. You were the very first guest on Golden Dunkers Live. No one can take that distinction away from you, buddy. So thank you, Akeem, and thank you for all the support. Gopher fans, this is our community. This is where we need to engage and support one another. So thank you for tuning in to the Golden Dunkers Facebook page. And remember, we're coming to you 1 hour before every Gopher road game. 1 hour before every Gopher road game. And you could tune in on the Golden Dunkers Facebook page. So let's get right into it. Until we can get Mr. Mbakwe on, which we're still trying to do. The Gophers got a huge win last game against the Fighting Illini. Tough road game. Illinois is a tough team. That record doesn't indicate how good they are. So that was a huge win for the Gophers last game. They came out with a sense of purpose. They played hard. They fought. They were mentally tough, and they got great guard play. So it was a great game for the Gophers. And every game in the Big Ten is a tough game. There are no easy outs in the Big Ten. Coach Haskins, that's one thing he used to drill into our minds. You know, at home, no one comes into Williams Arena and gets a win. That's just not going to happen. And that's the mindset that he instilled in us. Oh, there we go. There we go. The man of the hour is here. Mr. Mbakwe is on. What's going on, Trevor? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. Glad to get you on, man. What's going on, man? Talk to us. Before we get into it, Trevor, first of all is well with you and your family. Before I met you, man, I met you at Williams Arena. I forget which game it was, but as you know, one of your best friends, I'm not going to say her name, but prior to meeting you, she raved about you, man, how special you were as a person. And, you know, the great family that you had. She mentioned your wife, and I got to know her a little bit before meeting you. And obviously, she was one of your biggest supporters when you were here with the Gophers. So she told me all about you. And then when I met you, everything she said was confirmed, man. You're a gentle giant, brother. You know, and I have a lot of respect for you because you're a great person. I met your two kids, man. They're so beautiful. It was great to meet you finally. And like I said, everything she said was true, man. So thank you for coming on today, Mr. Mbakwe. You're by far one of the Gopher greats, man. You had a great career. So it was a pleasure meeting you that day. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I appreciate all the nice things. Yeah, Nadine, she's a great friend, a close friend of ours. Yeah, she's great.
She loves you, bro.
Now, well, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be able to do the show. I had to take a quick power nap. It's 1 a.m. here, so in Japan. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for what you're doing for, you know, the Gopher fans and, you know, us old former Gopher players. So I think this is exciting, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. Well, we'll get into that a little bit, man. Your current journey, what you're doing overseas, and your goals and things that you're trying to accomplish over there. So talk to us, sir. Talk to us about growing up in Minnesota. You grew up in St. Paul, right?
Egan. So right outside St. Paul, close enough, like 10-minute drive. But yeah, growing up in Minnesota was good for me. All my family's here. I went to high school there. I took a year off and went to Marquette before I could come back to the University of Minnesota. But yeah, I mean, Minnesota's great. You know, everybody outside of Minnesota always talks mess about how cold it is and, you know, all the bad things about the winters there. But once they come to Minnesota, they end up staying. You know, now you're back in Minnesota. You're a local coming from New York. But, you know,
Definitely. But
it's
you
great.
going too fast. Slow down for me a little bit, Trev. What high school did you go to, and what was the experience like? Who were some of the guys that you competed against in high school growing up in Minnesota?
We had a good high school class. We had Cole Aldrich, Al Nolan, Blake Hoffarbor, you know, a few my former teammates. We had a pretty good, solid, deep class. I went to school at Henry Sibley for 3 years. Then I ended up transferring to St. Bernard's my senior year. Just the family thought it was the best decision for me to transfer. Unfortunately, in my last year, and but yeah, I had a good run. Made to the state tournament. Had some good teams, and just it was good. It was a good career for me. And uh, sorry, I just woke up, so
I'm so good, brother. We're just happy to have you on, man.
no, but yeah, it was fun. I had a good journey in high school. Was a Mr. Basketball finalist. Unfortunately, I didn't win. I lost to Blake. Blake cheated me out of my Mr. Basketball, but it was fun. We had great fans, great support. Had a great fan base at both high schools that I attended. So I didn't have any complaints.
Cool. Shout out to Al Nolan. I saw Al last night. First time meeting him. Great guy, man. Great dude. Great
Yeah, it's
dude.
a friend for life. You know, when you go to college, you never realize a lot of people that you're going to keep close to you. But it's definitely my best time in playing basketball, and a lot of close relationships that happened while being at the University of Minnesota.
Yes, sir. Word has it that you had a big game in Japan last night. Y'all won?
Yeah, I got my first win in Asia, so had a big game.
Congrats.
One of the top teams here at home, so it was fun. It was fun for my family to finally watch me play again for the first time in a while, and the fans here have been great too, also. So I've been lucky as far as the support that I've got, you know, everywhere that I've played.
Beautiful. Let me guess, you had about 23 rebounds, maybe?
I wish it was a little slow rebounding. I think I only had like 8 or 9. Yeah, I do
Cool, cool.
my best Jordan Murphy performance, but I can't do as
Hey, man, I have a nickname for you, man. Can I share that with you?
Oh man, is it good?
Hopefully you'll like it, man. You're a big dude. I don't want any problems with you. I call you WWF.
Okay.
WWF stands for Warrior slash Workhorse slash Family Man.
Oh, I love
Is
that.
that a cool nickname for you? Does that describe you?
Take that. I'll take that.
You take that? Cool, cool, cool. WWF. So Trev, let's get back to that. What was the process like in terms of recruiting for you? You mentioned Marquette earlier. Can you take us through that? Because your road to the Gophers wasn't a typical one. You had, different journey than most.
Yeah, I had a good recruiting experience. I had offers from a lot of the top schools. Coach Donovan, Billy Donovan out of Florida, Arizona, Georgetown, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Like a lot of big time schools I had offers from. Coach Crean was at Marquette. Actually, he was one of the first scholarship offers that I received my beginning of my sophomore year. So I think just building that relationship with him early on, and just there was a lot of Coach Munson was the coach at the time, and we was kind of a lot of uncertainties as far as like if he was going to be here still, like what the situation was going to be, and I didn't want to commit knowing that potentially the coach was going to get fired at the time, and
Wow.
so I think that was at the time my mind was I wanted to stay home, but it just was hard because I didn't want to get there after like 2 bad seasons by the Gophers and be stuck in a situation that I didn't know who my coach was going to be. About 4 years I was at the school, but it was hard. I think just building the relationship with Coach Crean early in my high school career just made it easier for me to leave and go to Marquette. It was far from home, but not too far from home.
Mhm.
And fortunately, Coach Crean, my first year, after spending all that time getting the bond with him, he left my first year to take the Indiana job. So, and then Coach Smith ended up coming, and the rest is history. But I had a great recruiting experience. Like I said, it's fortunate that I was able to get recruited by some of the top schools, top coaches, and But yeah, it all worked out, and I ended up coming back and playing for my hometown team. And I had a good experience. Unfortunately, I had a major injury and some other things that happened. But overall, when I look back at my University of Minnesota experience, I have nothing but great things to think about it and say.
Beautiful. We were grateful to have you, man. Like talking to Keith, he was telling me that team, if everything works out, that team has the potential to be real special.
Yeah,
So
we had
that
a
team
we had,
had a
we had
lot
a
of
few things. It's hard to be. It's part of being a Minnesota fan. It's a lot of heartbreak, a lot of would be, shoulda, coulda situations. But yeah, probably 2 or 3. Like especially my first year at the university when it was me, Royce, with like DeVoe and Damon Johnson, Blake, and those Colton, Ralph. Like that team, if we were able to actually play, I think we all talk about all the time. Like we had a potential to be a Final Four team, which was looking back at, but that team, we were actually 10 guys deep who anybody can score 15, 20 points on a nightly basis and, get the job done. But unfortunately, some stuff happened and, we can't get it back. But, I think a lot of us, when we look back at my first year back, that team could have been special with Coach Smith for sure.
Yeah, that's the team he's talking about. Speaking of Coach Smith, I had the opportunity and I was blessed to be around him a little bit. How would you describe Coach Tubby Smith in terms of coach, person? How would you describe him in the time that you spent with him?
Coach Smith was great. When I first took my first recruiting trip to meet him, he gave you that grandpa feel, like that. He cares about his players, old school demeanor, military background. Like, he just was, he's one of those guys you're scared to disappoint.
Yes.
So, but his record speaks for himself. He's an all-time great coach. Won national championships, has success everywhere he's been. I think probably same experience as you, maybe with Coach Haskins. Like you don't really appreciate how great they were until after you leave, and then you're like, wow, like this guy, he taught me a lot. And as a young guy, sometimes you think you might know more than you actually do, but when the time
Exactly.
comes when you're done playing, you're like, yeah, he he's special. But I had a good time with him. I was fortunate he helped me get back to the University of Minnesota. I want to be the player I am without him. And I still talk to him, every now and then throughout the year. Talk to him or Miss Smith. And I think that's just one of those relationships that always is going to be there. And like he's helped me through a lot with a lot of things in life. And I've been, I'm fortunate to be able to say that I played for Tubby Smith.
Lost you there a little bit, Trev.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, there you
Hello?
go. Can you repeat that? We lost you on a little bit.
Uh, which part? Yeah, I was just saying,
Well, you
like,
just
yeah,
said you were blessed to play with a coach like Coach Tubby Smith.
yeah. I think he taught me a lot of things on and off the court. I had a kid at a young age, and I think he was kind of big and like helping me become the father that I am now. At 19, 18, 19 years old, not really knowing what life has entailed for me, and he helped me deal with a lot of tough situations, and I'm always gonna feel like I owe him something for getting me where I am right now. Yeah.
Trev, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
So yes, as players, like you said, we think we know everything, and we need coaches like that that's going to challenge us and make things uncomfortable at times. And that's why I'm thankful for Coach Haskins because he was that same type of guy. Not going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to challenge you, and we need those guys. So that was great, man. And so now, talk about the transition. Coach used to say when you're in college, everything's free. You get everything free, free food, free gear. Now you transition into the real world, which is playing overseas. And I know what that lifestyle is about. Can you talk to us a little bit about where you're at now, your journey overseas, playing professionally, and what's that's like, not only for yourself, but bringing your family overseas with you as well?
Overseas, there's a lot of pros and cons. At the end of the day, I get paid to play basketball, and I see the world, which has been a great experience for myself, my family. Seeing places I never thought I'd ever witness or be able to play in. And right now, this year, I'm in Osaka, Japan, so it's my first time playing, in Asia outside of Europe. So it's been a great experience. Kind of just learning the culture, learn the league, learn the country, and everything. And so far it's been everything that I've ever dreamt of. It's the city's amazing, the fans are amazing, the food's amazing, the scenery is amazing. But I've been fortunate. I've been playing in some great cities. It's my sixth season now. I played in Russia, in St. Petersburg, Russia, Tel Aviv, Israel, Germany a couple times, Italy a couple times. I've been fortunate with some great cities, and I've been able to bring my family with me. My daughter was actually born in Tel Aviv 2 years ago, so I think that's pretty cool
Wow.
that her passport's always going to say born in Israel, and she's been to 3 continents already at 2 years old. And I think these experiences, when we look back at and that I'm able to just share with everybody, is just going to, I just feel really blessed and lucky to be able to be here. And but yeah, it's playing professionally is different. Every day, you're defending everybody's trying to make a living for themselves and their family. Everybody's trying to eat, everybody's trying to put food on their table. And
Sure.
Europe is a little bit. Yeah, Europe is a little bit different. You're still doing 2-a-days throughout the whole season, and it's a grind. It's tough at times, but at the end of the day, just got to remember how lucky I am, and it kind of gets you through. But so far, everything in Japan, I've been here 3 weeks now, and it's been an amazing time. And I have 3 more months here, and I'm excited to see kind of just take it all in and enjoy it as much as possible.
Beautiful, man. I got to pick your brain
Well,
and get some.
so my connection probably isn't the best here.
That's all good, man. We got you. Everything is going smooth. I have to pick your brain because Japan is a destination that I want to get to at some point. So I'm going to be picking your brain on that. But I'm not going to let you get in trouble, Trev. You have to shout out your wife, man, because behind every great man is a great woman, man. So give your wife some love. I know she was going to try to join us today, and your kids, man. So go for
Yeah, she was supposed to be on the show, but they got here 3 days ago, so they're all still pretty jet lagged. So when the time came, she was like, "Sorry, hon, I can't stay up." But definitely, she's been my rock. I met her in high school. I was last year in high school, and she's been through me through this whole journey, and I've been fortunate that she stayed with me. I'm a hard person to be with, but she's been great, and I've been lucky. I have 2 beautiful children with her. We've been married. This will be our 5th year being married, and I wouldn't be who I am without her for sure, without a doubt.
Congrats, brother. Congrats, man. So we wish you nothing but the best, man. Like I said, you're a great dude, man, and you have everything in place. So you're gonna have a long overseas career after basketball. So how can Gopher fans get in touch with you via social media or any platform? How can they get in touch with you?
I'm on Twitter, Mbakwe32, same as Instagram, Mbakwe32, and I love hearing from the fans. I try to watch as many Gophers games as possible, but especially with this 15-hour time difference, it makes it a little bit more challenging most days. But yeah, just if you ever see me, just write me whenever on Twitter or Instagram, and I'd love to comment with you. And on Facebook too, just under Trevor Mbakwe with my name, man.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna throw you off a little bit. I have a little quiz for you, right? We all like quizzes, right? So I call I call it freshman quiz or first year quiz. So you already answered the first question. Your only coach while you were with the Gophers was your first year was Tubby Smith.
At the Gophers, yeah.
Your first year was Tubby Smith. So second question, who was the starting five your first year?
The year I played or the year I watched?
Ooh, your very first year, whether it was the year you watched or the year, the first year was the year you watched. We could go both.
Yeah,
we could go both. If you remember that.
My first year when I watched was Lawrence Westbrook, Al Nolan at point, Westbrook at the 2, Dame at the 3, Colin and Ralph at the 4 and 5, I believe. I want to say.
Throwing you off a little bit. You wasn't ready for that one.
Nah, that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
And the year you played?
The year I played was Al, DeVoe, Blake, me, and Ralph.
And who?
Ralph Sampson.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
No, but I'm pretty confident.
Okay. And the last one. Who won the national championship that year? What year was that? Your first year?
2009. Who won that year? Ah, man, I don't know. I'll say Duke.
That's a safe one, right?
Who was it?
Man, I don't know, but that's a good question. I'm going to Google it. You said 2009 was your first year, 2008, 2009?
2009, 2010 was my first
2009,
year.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look that one up.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's a good question. If it wasn't us, it doesn't matter, right?
it doesn't matter. Great answer. Great answer. It was Duke. Duke won it in 2010. It was just confirmed.
What's my prize?
We're going to get you some good Gopher gear, baby. That's what we're going to do. So let's move forward, Trev. Thanks for playing that little game with me. Today's game, the Boilermakers, man. I hate the Boilermakers. On the road, I hated going to West Lafayette. I was mentioning earlier before you got on, Coach Haskins used to say, every home game, Williams Arena, no one comes into Williams Arena and wins. That's just not going to happen. So now you go on the road for Gopher fans that don't really know what it's like on the road. Going to a tough environment like West Lafayette. When I was there, Gene Cady. When I think of Purdue, I think of Gene Cady. Was he there when you were there?
I think that was Coach Painter was there. I think he had just retired like a year or two before I got there. But Coach Painter's just one of his part of his coaching tree. They're probably, from everything I've heard, they're pretty similar to who they are. I mean, Coach Painter, he's been there for the last 10+ years, and it's like Purdue's. So it's anywhere. Most places in the Big Ten are a tough place to play. I mean, it's a grueling conference, on regardless if it's, the worst team who you think might be, it's still going to be tough. You might go to Penn State when there's 15 people in the stands, but that win is not guaranteed. But, Purdue, like you said, West Lafayette, it's always going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be loud. You might get some calls, might not. Coach Painter's going to be working the refs on the sidelines.
Sure.
They're a tough team. His teams are always, one of the bigger teams in the country. And, and it's not going to be easy, but I think the last couple of wins that we've had, I feel like the guys are as confident as they can be going on in a row. So if we were to go on the road, this would be the team that, will be the team that, can win on the road like we've shown already in the past, especially going to Kohl Center and winning over there for the first time in a while.
Yes, sir. Those fans are right on top of you.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's loud. It's a tough environment. Purdue is currently ranked 17th in the country. So what are some keys for the Gophers today to come out with that victory?
I think we need our vets to step up like they've been doing. Jordan, Amir, Isaiah. We're gonna need another solid performance from him. I feel like when he plays the way that he's capable of playing, controlling the game, finding open men and doing those type of things, we're a completely different team. I think it's going to be hard, but I feel like this team that can do it defensively. Kind of controlling the pace. If you control the crowd, it's a whole different game. Take the crowd out of it. Make shots, and it's the same game plan as every game. But I think this team I think Amir is playing on a whole different level right now. Daniel, he's been playing great as a freshman, and I think that we have some key pieces that just make some shots, get a lot of stops on defensive end, and control the game. And it should be it won't be easy, but it definitely can be done.
Yes.
So, but yeah, like I said, Purdue, it's one of the tough places to play in the Big Ten, and it's one of those fun games that you get yourself pumped up to. Okay, we got a ranked team on the road. Why not be that team and knock them off and, help secure our resume and help us get into a tournament?
Why not us, right? Why not us? They have to control that guard, and like you said, the contributions from the freshman Gabe has been contributing. So I'm looking forward to it. Akeem gave us a prediction, man. You got to give us a prediction.
Of course. What do you think? We're gonna win. I'm gonna go talk smack to Robbie Hummel for
Yes,
sure. This
sir.
first, he's probably working the game for the Big Ten Network. And,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. I definitely think we can win. I think we will win, and I put my money on the Gophers for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We don't want to hold you, Trev. We appreciate you, man. Like I said, you're a Gopher great. The hustle, the determination, the heart that you showed on a night in and night out basis as a Gopher fan, I want to thank you for that, bro, because you laid it on the line every night. Much success to you. Blessings to your family, man. Just keep up the great work, man. You're making us proud. You're making us proud. So we appreciate you. Next time you come to Minneapolis, we definitely got to hook up again, and we would love to have you back on. Anything else? My last question for you, what do you want Gopher fans? I kind of said what I remember. What do you want Gopher fans to remember you for as a player and a person?
You know how it is. You're a pretty similar player to me. You gave it your all. Every day everybody knew what they're gonna get from you. And I think when I do get back or when I do come back and I see games and I talk to fans, and it's always a great feeling, knowing that that they appreciate how much work I put in, how much I actually care putting that maroon and gold on, and just just remember me as like that person, like you said, work hard. I put it out there. At the end of the day, I just want to win and do the best for my for the University or the state of Minnesota. And that's always, I'm always going to want the best for my alma mater. And we have some of the best fans around. So I'm proud to be alumni of the University of Minnesota. Hello?
Yes, little glitch, but thank you, Trevor. We appreciate you. Like I said, much love and blessings to you, and continue to kill out there in Japan, man. Thank you so much.
It.
Thank you. Gopher fans. Yes, Trev. Be sure to follow Golden Gopher on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thank you so much. Gophers are going to get the win today, and go Gophers.
Go Gophers.
Yes, sir. Be good, Trev.
You too.
All right.